Hello, everyone. Wellness Warriors here, and I am Coach Suzanne Penn, and with me is Coach Suzanne Baker.
Hello, everybody.
So it's been a little bit. Life has been a little kooky, so we're back and hopefully back to doing our regular routine here. But one of the things we really wanted to hit on today is about our goals and small steps to get there and consistency. So, two important, really big things, and that are sometimes we are like constantly searching for like this result of something, but those two pieces are completely missing. So lately with me, so much, I have autoimmune. I'm a two-time thyroid cancer survivor. I've just had my fill of like health things. And in that, some of the things like my fitness routine became inconsistent. My you know, the small steps even weren't really happening. And then I decided, okay, enough. Once I got, kind of, um, I guess, treated in things and started feeling a little bit better. And I was able, because yes, we should listen to our body at times, but sometimes, it's just, again, doing the little things. So for me, one of the things that really was an eye opener is I did a a stretch and praise challenge, and it was only 5 days, and I hadn't really been consistently stretching. I teach a chair class online once a week, and other than that, I wasn't doing too much stretching otherwise, which was before I had been, like before I had had a lot of health issues. I was doing that. So in that 5 days, it was amazing because I started to notice changes that were, and I'm like, wow, that really feels good. Like I started to feel better. I started to feel um less tight and stiff, and my flexibility had improved even in those 5 days. From day one to day five, even the flexibility had gotten a little better. And I was like, light bulb moment, right? Like, I know these things. And I was doing it every day. And I wasn't like, I mean, the classes were half hour and that was it. They weren't hour long, 2 hour, like it wasn't like I was putting a lot of time, and could see just from that half hour, I could see changes happening. And it wasn't just the physical either. Mentally, I started to even feel better. And I'm like, wow, this is 5 days. So that prompted me to start a weekly mat class. So now I'm doing a weekly mat class. But something that I told myself is I am stretching every day, even if I only have 5 or 10 minutes, right? I'm doing that. And so far, my stretching has been, sometimes it's only been the 10 minutes, Then like the other day was 45 because I was just stretching and enjoying it, and it was just feeling really good. But it has really helped me in how I feel. Does it sometimes, when I start the stretching, I am kind of stiff and a little sore, but I loosen up really quick now. And even I was telling Suzanne Baker that, like, I tried to do a split, knocking off, like I can almost do one. And I'm thinking, I wasn't even trying to do those.
Right.
So it's just hilarious but it's just proof. Like that was it that I was doing crazy stretching? No. Was it that I was doing long amount of stretching? No. I was doing little bits every day. And that was even in my own like fitness with walking. I probably talked about this before. And if I haven't, well, here we go, is even on my treadmill, like when I was really, really hurting because the autoimmune causes like issues in my joints and muscles, I could only walk for maybe 10 minutes at a time on my treadmill. But then, and I might only be able to do that once a day. Then I was able to walk on it for 10 minutes a couple times a day. Then it was 10 minutes, maybe 3 times during the day. And, then it changed to like 15 minutes I could be on. So there's a progress that happens. But here's the thing, that progress could not happen without me being consistent in the process. Like we want everything yesterday kind of society. That's what we are. We're, fast food, fast everything. We want everything fast. And unfortunately, in health and weight loss, weight management, things like that, we want everything quick. But here's the thing. We didn't gain the weight overnight. It took years for us to maybe get overweight, right? If we are, it didn't happen overnight. We didn't lose flexibility overnight. That happened because maybe we stopped stretching, right? And the same with your muscle tone. Your muscle tone didn't just go away overnight. It was, well, I stopped lifting weights or I stopped doing weight bearing exercises, and that matters. And the thing is, we all want to jump to the give me the magic pill thing. And that doesn't work. Like, think about with your like stretching. Here's a perfect example. If I would have not stretched for months and months and months, and then I would just been trying to do a split, I would have definitely injured myself for sure, right? Would have done that. And it's the same even with weight loss. When we try to do this rapid overnight weight loss, we are damaging things. Like that's not how our bodies were designed. And that's the thing. When we start looking at the original design that God made our bodies to be and start to work with that, that's when we see results. That's when we see sustainable things. I mean, even in my own weight management journey. Sure, I tried the fast thing and it messed up so many things with me. And luckily, I woke up and was like, I'm done with this. And taking the small steps, eating healthier, moving my body intentionally. But guess what? It's happening and staying. So the weight that I lose now is just staying. Like it's not going yo-yoing back and forth. And it's because it's a little at a time and not this like our bodies weren't meant to lose 10 pounds in a week, you know? And your body's not going to maintain that because first of all, you probably did not lose the thing you want to lose, which is the fat. You've lost a lot of water and things like that, at first. So it's like we follow this world mindset and it doesn't get us anywhere but stuck, you know, and on the hamster wheel kind of thing, doing the same old, somehow thinking we're going to get a different result. And I don't understand, like, and
Mhm.
we see somebody's picture online and we're like, oh my goodness, look at that. And again, if they have not like, and I'm going specifically with weight loss right this second because this is where a real issue is right now in not necessarily doing it in the best, most beneficial way for our bodies, especially now that everybody wants to give us the quick fix, right? I've got the magic pill or the magic whatever, I'm not going to get into all of that because that's not what this is about. But a lot of times those results, you could get the same thing without damaging things in your body and have sustainability and have a lifetime of good habits built up because of little at a time. You don't need to, like New Year's resolutions are probably a good example of that. We go in full force instead of gradually going into it. And how many New Year's resolutions last? I think what they say, like 3%. I don't know. It's like a very low
Very
percentage
low
that,
percentage.
yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, if you're already doing these things, then let's go back to holiday eating even. You have that holiday meal that is probably way more calories than you should be eating. It probably has a lot of sugars and stuff like that. Guess what? Guess what did not destroy your health? That one day.
Mhm.
But if that one day is 2 days and 3 days and 4 days and keeps going, yeah, that because even the bad habits, being consistently having bad habits can, can be, it that can become ingrained.
Right.
So let's ingrain the good habits so then when I want to go celebrate, guess what? That's not going to destroy everything I've done because I do those things like the moving my body intentionally, the eating whole foods and eating, smarter and eating more higher nutrient rich foods most of the time. So those few little in things in the middle there, here and there, aren't going to uproot the whole thing. The same with like working out. Like, okay, I went on vacation. Maybe I didn't work out for a week. Like, and I'm not, some people do work out still on their vacation. But like, if I go on vacation and I'm like, I want to take a week off, that's okay because, I'll still probably walk or something like that. But I'm like, I'm not going to go maybe hardcore on my vacation. It's just not going to happen for me. Other people, maybe it will.
Me
But
neither.
the thing is, me not doing that for a week and just maybe doing like little stretches in bed or something before I get up and then taking walks and stuff like that. That's enough. Like, I'm not going to go home and then be like, oh my goodness, I've lost all my flexibility and I've lost, like, because you're not, because you do it every day. You're always doing it. And then again, having a rest day, your muscles need that too. You can't build muscle unless you put in rest days, but you also have to be consistent with that as well. You're not going to build a muscle overnight. Like, oh, I'm going to work out with weights today. Oh, look at my muscle. Like, and then never do it again. It's yeah. So that that is my piece of
That's
of
great.
what
That's good.
I
Good
thought.
stuff right there. Good stuff.
And now I will send it over to you because I
Okay.
you
Yeah.
always have such good things
Aw.
to bring as
Well,
well.
you bring a lot to the table too, girl. But what you were saying, about the rapid weight loss, that made me think, um, because that's a recipe for disaster. I mean, you don't go in if you're going to cook something, you just don't go right in and just buy a bunch of ingredients, throw it in a pot and call it a recipe, right? I mean, you have to follow guidelines. You got to have your measurements. You got to have, you don't want to cook something that's on high when it needs to simmer for a while, right?
Mhm.
So my thinking was that, since that's a recipe for disaster, do you have a recipe for success? Do you have something in place? I mean, I am a journaling girl. I have my journals. I have these all over the house. And anytime I think of something, I just write it down. Now, there are some people who like to put notes in their phone. That's good. However you want to do it. I just like to see pen and paper. That's just me. But so now you're thinking, you got your journal, you got your pretty journal, you got your pretty pen. Now sit down and write out, what are your goals? So I'm going to ask 3 questions. Have you carefully considered your weight loss goal? What is it that you want to attain? There are some people who are at a point in their life, well, maybe I just want to tone up and I want a fitness routine. Then there's others who are like, I want to break away from food. Like I want food freedom. I want to find out the ability. How can I do it in my mind that I can just stop constantly thinking about food? Or you're on a weight loss goal, and actually weight loss will be your fat loss. You know, you're wanting to do that, like you were talking earlier. You want to do it sustainable. So ask yourself that question. Write that down. Write that question down. It's, have you carefully considered your weight loss goal? And be specific in your answer, and be truthful and honest with yourself. Number 2, what do you hope to attain when you reach your goal? All right, so are you thinking out carefully? Are you wanting to drop a significant amount of weight? Are you wanting to drop maybe just the weight after having a baby? Maybe you only have 5 to 10 pounds you're just kind of like struggling with and you want to lose that. Or are you wanting to feel better about yourself? Again, be specific, be honest, pray about it even. You know, what is it that I want? Because we all want to feel better. We all want more energy. We all don't want to have that midday crash, you know? So honestly, you know, the food that we eat will help us get through that. We want food that's going to energize us. You know, after you've eaten a heavy meal, like you were talking about, you know, the holidays, you've eaten that heavy meal and all you want to do is take a nap. You don't want to do anything else. You wear your stretchy pants and you're going to take a nap. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that because naps are good,
Yeah.
but you don't want that all the time.
No.
And the last question is, what is the cost? And I'm not talking about dollars. I'm talking about, what is it going to take for you to make the change? You know, that's a really good one to me, because, you know, you have, I mean, we go through life. I mean, we could come up with 1,001 reasons why we shouldn't do this or why we should do this. But you really, really, really have to be honest with yourself and want to know, what is the cost? Like, are you wanting to get off certain medicines? Not all medicines. I'm not anti-medicine, but there are medicines that we take that are dietary medicines, and one of them is like, you know, for type 2 diabetes, like your metformin and things like that. You're wanting to get off of that. You know, that is just something that's in the back of your mind. So yeah, you're going to want to write that down. So, and you know, you're going to have to do the legwork on it to reach your goal. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Like we talked earlier, there is no such thing as a quick fix weight loss thing. I mean, we all know what's going to happen. Like you said, we're not going to go there, but that's, you know, write that down, you know, drink more water, write it down. So, and like I said, being specific about your answers, be truthful. So once you've decided what your goals are, then you can break those down into little bite-sized pieces. And then you're going to be able to make your end result more sustainable and more attainable, actually. So, you know, and there's some people who might need to do more than baby steps. Maybe they need to do 2 or 3 things, change 2 or 3 things instead of one thing. But just do it slowly. Do it in small steps, because you've really got to get that mindset. And one of my favorite authors is Mark Twain, and he wrote, the secret to getting ahead is to get started. So
Mhm.
think about that.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, such good stuff. And yes, it's being specific about what you're trying to achieve, keeping that in the forefront. Yeah, journaling especially. It's so funny when, I mean, I don't know about funny, but it is because people usually laugh like, oh wow, I didn't even realize I was eating like that until I started writing down what I was eating this week, you know. And and they're like, oh wow, I didn't realize that, I thought I was only doing this, but I really was doing this.
Yeah.
And like you said about like the small steps, like if you're somebody that drinks a 12 pack of soda a day, to say I'm cutting soda completely out. Now we're, in the Lenten season it comes and people want to get rid of stuff. And the thing is it realistic? Some people can say, yeah, I can totally get rid of all of it. Like that's how I have to do it. But also know yourself, know that you that is something that's not going to become actually a barrier in the end,
Exactly.
because you're just going to be like, I'm done with this and I'm just guzzling sodas,
Yeah, that's right.
so so yeah, and getting started, like again, 5 minutes. Maybe, maybe you're someone that is, you mentally need to
Mhm.
get things more in place. So maybe you haven't been having devotional time. Start with 5, 10 minutes. Again, start with the small and then you can build on that. But the key is consistency,
Yeah.
because it's better to do it a little at a time over and over and over than to go big and then have to go home the next day
Right,
because
right. And I just want to also say that if our listeners, if there's someone out there that's having a hard time getting started, that's what we're here for. We're, health and wellness coaches, and we'd be glad to talk to you, chat with you about how to get started. But get started. I mean, do this for you. This is your life. You're one body. That's all you get. So make the
exactly.
most of it.
Yeah, this is one chance. So give them your information and I'll give them my information. So if they want to get a hold of us.
Absolutely. You can find me on Facebook at Southern Grace Wellness, or my own personal page, which is Suzanne W. Baker on there. And you can just message me. Let me give you my email address. It is southerngracewellness@gmail.com.
Yes. And you can find me on Facebook, Suzanne Hobbs Penn. And you can also email me, radiantbloomyogaandwellness@gmail.com, and reach out if you need somebody to help, give you that start. You know, that's what we're here for. We're here to link arms, walk beside you, and go on the journey with you. And our goal is that you become independent in that process of, I always say like my goal is to be fired one day from whoever because they've got it.
Right.
Um, but yes, it's not so simple. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes some people actually just need the accountability of a coach, and someone to help them decipher all of the stuff that's coming at them and overwhelming them, all that info, because there's so much information. So helping you just decipher, through what is good and maybe what's not the most beneficial sometimes, and because not all the stuff you read online is going to be
No. And just an FYI
beneficial.
out there, listeners, Coach Suzanne Penn is my accountability partner. So We're both health coaches and we need each other, right?
Yes, we keep each other straight,
Right.
so we're there to
Gotta
help
have
each other
fun.
and work through things, and everybody needs that. So definitely reach out. We'd be glad to have a chat with you. That's no pressure, you may, maybe we're a fit, maybe we're not, but you won't know until you talk to us.
That's right.
So we thank you. We hope you all have an amazing week and day. And until the next time, do you have anything else, Suzanne?
That's it. Just want to say goodbye.
Bye.